Hello and welcome to this month's ChangeX event. I am Monique and I'm excited to be your host for this first installment of our Taboo series. A child-free life? Yes, please. What once was a controversial choice is becoming more and more a popular one, as increasingly a number of people are opting out of procreating for the benefit of the planet, for their finances, or simply for their freedom. And yet, this very deeply personal question and choice is still a bit of a taboo subject. Today I'm joined by two guests who have chosen, indeed, for a child-free life, even opting for sterilization. Why did they choose this? How do they deal with the social pressure and those all too familiar questions? Do they have any regrets? And is there a difference between a woman's experience and a man's experience? So today we are not just we're not dictating or debating whether you should or should not have children. That would always be your choice. We are just discussing the choice to not have children and the taboo around that subject. Let's meet our guests, Bram and Ripley. Bram and Ripley, thank you for joining us today. We're honored that you came and to tell your stories, and I'd love for you to take a moment to introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
My name is Ripley. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Antwerp, Belgium. My partner is from the Netherlands. I have 7 cats. No
Wow.
kids, cats. And I work for myself as a content creator and a social media manager.
I'm Bram. I'm 43 years old. I'm working as a quality engineer for one of the electronics companies here in the Netherlands. And my hobby is roller derby. And
Oh, nice.
in roller derby, you don't have much of a taboo, so I feel free to be myself there.
Great. Oh, thank you. It's good to have you here. So, let's dive in. Firstly, let's talk about the social pressure aspect of your choice. Have you found yourself in awkward situations because of your choice to not have children? Bram?
Yeah, not so much. Sometimes it was hinted from, okay, you could be a good father for your children because you're a kind person. But that's much about it for me.
Ripley?
I only had people defriending me on Facebook because they weren't happy with my choice, or people who stopped speaking to me altogether because
Wow.
I wouldn't make my mother a grandmother.
Wow.
It's ridiculous, but
Sure.
that's all actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you approach this as a topic of conversation? Like, how do you bring it up, or is it kind of a more if people ask, then you will discuss it?
Well, sometimes I bring it up on myself, but most of the time it's about when people ask, okay, do you want any children or not, or that I bring it on the table.
I don't bring it up that much. People ask it, I give them an honest answer, but the people who really know me, my friends and acquaintances, they really know where I stand on the topic of not having children.
Mm. And then how do you respond to negative reactions? Because I'm sure you get a lot of those.
Well, yeah, for me, it wasn't so much. I think it is because I'm a man, and for women, I think it's a little bit different. But yeah, but what can I say? It's like doing this.
Water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell them that they, one, are wrong, why they are wrong, and that they should mind their own business. My body, my choice, and that's no one's issue really. It's
Yeah.
mine alone.
Yeah, it is a personal choice. So yeah. Okay, so let's talk about sterilization. In short, what was your experience going through with that? Was it easy to arrange or to organize or to have done? Tell us a little bit about the process.
Well, for me, it started with coming out as queer and getting that sorted. And in the process, do I want children? Do I don't want children? So I decided I don't want any children.
Mm-hmm.
Since 21, I was preparing to have my vasectomy. In the first instance, my general practitioner said you were too young. You will perhaps meet a woman. She wants to have babies. So I say no, even though you want it. And then at 27, somebody of school asked me, do you like to have a sterilization? At that point, I really wanted to say yes, but I didn't want to do it as a model for her, how the procedure is performed, but I wanted to do it for myself and myself alone. And finally, at 40, I saw a clinic here in the Netherlands who were accepting men 30 plus without any referrals from general practitioners or other doctors to have the sterilization. Of course, you have to have a little conversation before if you are okay with the procedure, because you really can't reverse it. And I had a 5-minute discussion with the urologist, and he said, okay, I think you're ready to have your vasectomy, so let's get started.
Did you find them very supportive of your decision, or did they still try to change your mind?
No, not at all.
Okay.
He let me talk.
Yeah.
He listened to my answers, and he said, okay, I'm not going to say anything more. You're ready for your vasectomy, so I'm happy to help you.
Sounds like you waited a long time that you've already made that decision. I mean, at 21, it wasn't something that you just woke up one day and decided, oh, I'm going to do this.
No.
And because it is quite a final decision to make. So yeah, and how about you, Ripley?
I heard horror stories before from other women who had kids who were 30 plus and no sterilization. You are too young. What if you want a third kid? Things like that. So I waited until I turned 28. That was last year. I went to a gynecologist. He said no.
Okay.
Let your partner get an operation, not you. You are too young, and all that jazz. So I went to for a second opinion like 6 months later, and he was like, okay, green light, let's make it happen. And 5 months later I was on the operation table. And
wow, interesting, the difference of, you know, the acceptance of your decision, whereas you got some more resistance about and that it was then to be your partner's responsibility.
Yeah.
So
let him get a vasectomy. There are other options. Yeah, what options? Him getting a vasectomy is not helping me, not helping my hormones, not helping my body.
Yeah.
If we break up, let's hope not, but if we break up, he's still in the clear, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's just ridiculous. I told the doctor that, and almost left with slamming doors.
Wow. So, and then once you kind of got to the actual procedure, then it was quite easy. I think the difficult part was the precursor, the getting to that point. So
for men it takes about 50 minutes.
Okay, wow.
So it's a relative short procedure, and the only thing you see is a little scar on the testis.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah. And are you under anesthetic, or is it just local?
Local numb, and then they take out the vas deferens, and then they cut a short amount of it out, and then they put a kind of a tie wrap around the rest and put it back in.
Okay. And your recovery period afterwards?
It's like 10 days. So no sports, no biking, just light administrative work, and if you feel pain, get some coolant in the form of frozen food or anything out of the freezer.
Nice. How does it compare to your experience?
The operation was about 30 minutes. I've been 5 hours in my room and a week, and I was up and running again.
Okay.
I have 2 tiny scars, 3 actually, 1 in the belly button and 2 right here. The one is bigger than the other one because they pulled my tubes out on the left side, both out on the left side. So this scar is a tad bigger, but they're my battle scars. I wear them proudly.
Your battle scars,
yes.
Nice. And so the obvious question I think that you've also encountered is why choose for something as extreme as sterilization when there are alternatives?
For men, I only know 2 alternatives.
Okay, yeah.
don't have sex when the woman is in her fertile period, or wearing condoms. And for me, it was like, I don't want any children. And one of my friends gave me a huge compliment. She said, you took care of your own body, your decision, you don't want children, and you have your permanent anti-conception, so why bother women with it, as you don't want any children? And I feel that felt such a huge compliment.
Yeah. And
As-
we
as-
obviously have more options for
yes, but I
birth
started taking the pill when I was 14 years old. That's
Okay.
14 years of taking hormones.
control.
It made me unhappy, it made me fat, it made me unhealthy. It's just putting junk in your body. So I wanted to stop poisoning myself. And the other contraceptions aren't 100%
Effective,
yeah, and
Okay.
sterilization was the best option for my
Okay.
mind and my body and
Yeah.
my safety for not getting pregnant.
Yeah. And you're feeling better now that you don't have to take a pill
Yes.
or anything.
I'm way happier,
Yeah.
I'm healthier, everything's
Yeah.
just better. Best decision ever.
That's
Really,
great.
yes.
That's really great. And so I think there's also a bit of a stigma about, maybe more so with men, about like, with sterilization, do you still feel yourself like a real man, or like is that something that you've encountered or experienced at all?
For me personally, no. I still feel as much man as before my vasectomy. But yeah, I heard male colleagues saying like, oh, well, our family is done. The women should go to the hospital, have their sterilization, because I feel less man after
Oh,
they took off some of my vas deferens.
Sure.
it's weird. So weird.
Yeah. And you?
I'm a goddess.
You guys? Yes.
Goddess.
Great attitude. No, it sounds like you're much happier and healthier
I am.
on the other side. So children and career, the either and or of that. In the working world, have you ever been asked in an interview setting, for example, if you have a wish to have children?
The only thing hinted on that is like for me then as a male is, are you married or are you living together on a marital contract? But in the Netherlands it isn't really allowed to ask people about starting a family or something like that. So they try to avoid it in such a way, like, are you married or do you have a partner?
Yeah. And you?
Nobody ever asked, and it's none of their business anyway.
Yeah.
And I would tell them that straight up.
Yeah, no,
But
I do believe that in the Netherlands and probably in most other countries, hopefully, that is in fact a taboo question to ask. And
Belgium too.
yeah, I know in South Africa, I was once asked if I had a family in an interview, and at first I didn't understand the question because I thought of my mom and my dad, and because I'm not married and I don't have children. And but then I realized that what they were insinuating with that question is more about, could you work overtime? Where's your ambition? Where are your priorities? Like, would you need to take care of your family? And of course those are considerations, but it should not affect your opportunities to be eligible for a
you
job.
and your pet can also count as a family. A family is something
important.
really big.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, no, exactly. And so what do your colleagues think of your child-free life?
Some are jealous.
Oh, yeah?
Uh,
Oh, there's the ones that have children.
the ones who have children. And they say how nastier and naughtier the children are, the more jealous they become.
Okay.
obviously. Well, I work for myself. I run a one-woman business. I have 7 employees, and they are all spayed and neutered. It's good
Okay.
for the work dynamic.
Okay.
Me, the
Good.
cats.
Yes, she is talking about her cats.
Yes.
So, yeah, and then I think this is more of a question for you. Does it have an influence on your relationship with your colleagues, or your boss? But
No,
Not
for
really.
me, for me, no.
yeah, not at all. There's often said, without children, your life is incomplete. Do you think there's any truth in that?
I feel liberated to not have children.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly the same. My life is as complete as it can be. I do the things that I love. I'm surrounded by friends and family who I love. I have an amazing partner who supports me in everything I do. I go wherever I want to go, when I want to go. Nothing's holding me back.
Yeah.
So, no.
Okay.
Freedom.
Yeah. And do you ever look at families or friends who do have kids and feel a little bit of a desire to have what they have?
Once I had a 5-second time frame of regret, but
Okay.
it was over in a snap, and I told the woman that, and she liked the idea of having that 5-second time frame of regret.
Dangerous.
But she can understand my position, and she said, "You're way better off."
Yeah. Okay.
To be honest, I surround myself with other child-free people. I have one couple among my friends who have a kid. I adore that kid, but I try to distance myself from, people with children, a lot of the breeders, as they say. Most of my friends are older males. My best friend, she's a girl, she's female. She also doesn't want any kids. It's the people you surround yourself with.
For me, it's the same. I do like children, but I don't want them to have them of my own. So
yeah. I mean that makes sense. I think people with families like to hang out with people with families because you've got that in common. So it makes sense that you would hang out with people who you have beliefs and values and things in common with you. So yeah, I think there's also the joke that like kids are great, especially when you can give them back to their parents.
Right.
So there's you don't have the responsibility of actually bringing them up or anything like that, or dealing with the difficult parts, but you get to maybe have a cuddle, hold them, or enjoy them
more the fun parts.
Yeah, the fun, play some games, but then when it gets to the difficult things, it's not your responsibility, and you will never have to have that responsibility. So, yeah, no, I do see the appeal of that.
I don't really like them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't like kids. There's the one kid, but he's special, and they're too noisy, they're too busy, they're all over the place, and I'm like, silence. I want my peace and quiet. Even when I'm visiting someone.
So do you generally avoid areas where there'll be kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't go to much to zoos, but that's about it. I like them, but the noise and the fuss they make, horrible.
And the parents who can't control them, parents who see their child as their friend instead of their
or prince or princess.
What?
Or prince or princess.
So, looking back, what would you say to your younger self?
Well, I stayed on course. I made a decision when I was 21, but it took a long time in waiting, and happily had my vasectomy. So.
Yeah, and you?
It's not easy, but you'll get there. Never step out of your power. You got this.
Nice, good, encouraging words. Would you have done anything differently?
No.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
No. Would you have gotten it earlier if you had the opportunity?
If I had the opportunity, I would have had it earlier.
Yeah. Okay. And then, we've already kind of covered if you have any FOMO or regrets. I think unless you want to add anything to that, but I think
not at all.
we've covered that.
We're not the ones missing out on anything.
The 5-second regrets.
Yeah.
And so any last thoughts or considerations that you would like to share with the people watching today?
Well, if you're doubting and deciding, make up your mind. Have some friends who have your back, with whom you can talk about the subject, and support is a strong factor in getting the right decision.
Did you talk to a lot of people about your decision before And
about 5 people,
okay.
and they supported me. Everybody supported me.
Mm.
And one friend, he called me on the day of the operation twice, before to wish me luck, and afterwards how it went, and did I feel ill, and how I feel now, and for regrets.
Yeah.
But the second the operation was over, I felt a huge relief and liberated. So
Yeah.
and
That's a good.
yeah,
That's a good sign.
And that feeling stayed with me ever since. So
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. And you, Ripley?
Never ever give in to peer pressure. Make your choices for you, what you really want, not your parents, your grandparents, your friends, even society. Don't let them decide what you want or what you need in your life. Only you know that. You have to think about yourself. It's not selfish. It's self-care, actually.
Self-care, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I found this a really interesting conversation, and I hope that everyone watching had also enjoyed hearing their stories. Thank you for coming on and sharing your stories with us. And I know that also took some courage to stand up for what you believe in and kind of your own choices. I can only hope that we live in a world where we can accept and love and appreciate everyone's individuality and decisions, and that we will maybe be challenged to think about our own perceptions about this particular taboo. Like the next time you want to ask a friend if they're going to have kids, maybe think about, don't start with when are you having kids, maybe say, do you want to have kids? Rather start from that point. I think let it be led with the conversation with not your expectations and the norms, but rather what's your choice? And then whatever their answer is, if the answer is no, great. Like that's, talk about it. Yeah, support them. I think that is the very good message that we give, like just love and support each other, because you are entitled to your opinion, and it is a deeply personal decision. So thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.